Hi there. Hello. I'm Dr. Elisa Peavy, and welcome. I am a family medicine physician, and I really educate on the importance of our emotional health, our vibrational frequency, and the importance of inner health when it comes to being your healthiest self, your healthiest version. And so I have these bloody quick tips, and today we are going to go back and talk about something that has kind of been coming up a lot. And so I figured I would do a quick tip today about it. We're going to be talking about the emotional and energetic piece with thyroid disease. Thyroid disease impacts so many people. I mean, it honestly, someone comes in and complains of almost any symptom, I check their thyroid almost every single time. It really is, it's one that seems to affect women more than men, but men still can have thyroid issues, absolutely. It tends to affect women who are more in their 30s, 40s. And, we seem to kind of watch a pattern. I think it's because women are caretakers. The thyroid itself is part of the throat chakra. So energetically, the throat chakra is responsible for communication. It's responsible for listening, and it is responsible for some creativity as well. It's really that communication piece, that speaking your voice, speaking your truth. And everybody has their own truth. So I'm going to give you an example here, and this is close to home because it's my own personal example, but when I was at my other job, it was a system that really was not conducive for me. It wasn't really conducive for my patients. And I wasn't speaking my truth during that time. I worked there for 4 years, almost exactly, I think about a month over. But during that time, even though I knew what to eat, I knew how to exercise, I knew what to do to be healthy, but I wasn't speaking my truth. I wasn't seeing patients the way I wanted to see them. I wasn't helping them the way I felt I could really help them. It was not my truth. And because of that, I started to see my health fail, even though I was eating and doing all the things physically that would help raise my vibrational frequency and really keep me out of dis-ease or keep me out of illness. But because the throat chakra, my communication piece, I allowed it energetically to be snuffed down, or at least not to be allowed to speak out, it affected me. I gained 30, 40 pounds probably over that 4 years time period. I was definitely depressed. You talk to people, they will tell you that I am a different person. I was more guarded. I was less open. I wasn't living authentically because I was being buried under all of this negative energy and fear, really, to express what I felt was my truth, and it kept me down. And fear is a very low vibrational frequency emotion. And when you start to resonate in that emotion or resonate at that frequency, guess what happens? You increase your risk of developing disease within those lower vibrational states, which is really everything. Whether it doesn't matter if it's hypertension or an autoimmune disease, those are all frequencies, low vibrational frequencies. They're all disease. So there really is so much more to disease or anything that you manifest with beyond the physical. So symptoms of thyroid, weight gain, mood disorders, skin changes, dry skin, foggy thinking, really just not clear in your thinking, the lack of energy and the lack of ability. You just don't even feel like you can move through things. Sometimes it almost feels impossible. And even for exercise. So when my thyroid went kerplunk, I would go in and try and exercise, and I had such little energy. I felt like I was literally plowing through thick mud, 6 feet high. It felt nearly impossible. And I've never been that kind of person when I would do my workouts. It was very, very difficult, and it was like overnight. It happened very quickly. So my hope is that for those of you who are dealing with a thyroid issue, or maybe you have a lot of these symptoms and you've gone to the doctor and you've been told that your thyroid levels are normal. Well, guess what? Just because your thyroid levels are normal does not necessarily mean that you don't have a subclinical thyroid state. And everything starts first on the energetic level before it shows up in the physical. And so even though energetically you might have something going on, that may not always show up on the physical in your lab work, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have some emotional ties to that throat chakra or to the thyroid that is causing some of these problems. So those are really big pieces, or a really big place for us to look at when we're dealing with thyroid disease. Because again, the medications can maybe help to balance our hormones, but that is not fixing the underlying root cause. And it most definitely is not necessarily going to always take care of the problem. I mean, I cannot tell you how many people I know who have thyroid problems, who have been on medications. They're fluctuating all over the place. They're miserable. They're really just not managed. They might feel a little bit better initially, but over time, it's not. I really don't know many who are very happy just with their medication. So there's so many other things that we can do. Foods are very important. There are foods specific to the thyroid that can really help. There are tons of foods from an anti-inflammatory component. Viruses have been linked to causing some thyroid problems. There are foods that are known to basically eliminate or get rid of unwanted viruses that are causing problems, or can at least help, right? So get in touch with me. I'd love to talk to you. Thyroid is no fun, and there's so many things that we can do all across the board, all around, right? Emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, for everything. It's comprehensive. So forbodie.com is my website. That's where I have programs and packages. There's a bunch of free content about everything on my YouTube channel at Elisa PV, so check it out, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.